Welcome back to a special Granite State Debates edition of Close Up. We're here at the New Hampshire Institute of Politics, where it all went down over the last week, and we still have, luckily, Scott Spradling here, the former WMUR political director, to guide us through all of it. Scott, let's talk about the 1st Congressional District and the 2nd Congressional District debates. These might have been later in the week, but they offered some great fireworks, some great contrast. First, the first CD, what were some of your takeaways?
I mean, for me, the big one is simply this. Good thing we're on a campus of a college, because that was a master class in debate technique for both candidates. This one was, to steal your analogy when we were talking off camera, this was the Rocky versus Apollo Creed. Right. Two heavyweights, really trading blows, nailing their lines, using debate technique to avoid tough questions and lean into others and make good points. It was, if you want to learn how to debate, watch that one.
Right, a game respects game, if you will.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
What's kind of fun about this for the political junkies like this here is these are two real, Pappas is relatively young.
42.
Caroline Leavitt is obviously very young, 25. Yeah. We could be seeing these two run against each other for a long time, or maybe for statewide office for a long time.
Yeah.
And selfishly, those are going to mean some pretty good debates. And like you mentioned with the Rocky thing, they were throwing the haymakers.
They were.
Just like in the Rocky movies, they land on the face and nobody goes down.
Didn't matter.
Just like, it was epic.
So it was impressive.
Let's take a look at some of the action from this. First, a little bit of a back and forth on the issue of federal spending. Take a listen.
Now, when she was working in the Trump White House, she supported all $8 trillion worth of deficit spending. In fact, in October of 2020, she was attacking Democrats for not spending more on stimulus. So her tune has changed now that she's a candidate for office. We need leaders who come out of the small business world, who understand the private sector, who are going to put the fiscal health of this country first without jeopardizing critical programs.
15 seconds.
Yes, I do come out of the small business world here in New Hampshire as well, and I know that small businesses across this state, their profit margins are minimized every single day because of the reckless spending that you have supported. This administration has green-lighted more spending than any administration in American history, and that's why we are facing an economic recession right now.
And Scott Spradling, that pivot every time, whether or not you believe that it's going to be a good Republican year or Democrats still have some enthusiasm, a midterm for the party that holds power in the White House and the Congress is tough. Chris Pappas is facing political winds, and she was pushing him right back into that wind every time she could.
You bet. There's an old axiom, if you're explaining, you're losing. It's very difficult for the incumbents to be able to lay out what they've been able to do, especially in challenging economic times like what we face right now. They are uncertain. But as a political animal, I just have to say, Adam, it's a shame one of the two of these folks has to lose on Tuesday, because they've both run such disciplined and smart campaigns. They've hit all of their marks.
And in particular, Caroline Leavitt did an effective job in the primary capturing that Donald Trump base, and she's pivoted hard. Yes. Not going to say away from it, but she's avoiding that to some extent. Take a listen to what she had to say here, essentially about the idea that the election was stolen from President Donald Trump in 2020, something that she said quite a bit in the primary, but has steered clear of so far during the general. To the question, though, Ms. Leavitt, do you believe former President Trump is telling the truth when he says that the election was stolen from him in 2020, yes or no?
I believe voters every single day when they express their concerns over election integrity. I have voters in this district who tell me, I want to vote for you, but I'm not sure it will count. It will count. We need to flood the polls on Tuesday and continue to fight for election integrity at the state and local level.
Same question to you, Mr. Pappas.
Well, I think that's a simple no. Donald Trump is wrong. The last election was not stolen from him. Everyone knows that. And Caroline Leavitt continues to double down on the big lie that somehow this last election was stolen. I think it's really concerning to so many folks in New Hampshire that we've got a candidate running for office on the big lie who said on January 6th that she would have actually voted to decertify the election results, overturning the result of a Democratic election in this country.
And interestingly enough, Scott, she said she hears from voters every day about this. I think I hear from a lot of voters who are so impressed with her, but it's the aspect of the support for Donald Trump and what happened in 2020 that is keeping them from going all in on Caroline Leavitt.
And the 3D chess part of a debate moment like what you just saw, and you saw it all week long from the most effective debaters on this stage over a week, is the ability to take a very tough and direct question and not answer it. It's 3D chess because you're leaving it up to the voters to essentially interpret, is that good enough? We're going to find out in 48 hours.
Yeah, right. And read the tea leaves for us, Scott, here. We don't need any predictions because this is a tough one to handicap.
Yeah, it is.
How do you see this kind of shaking out on Election Day?
This is a really interesting time, Adam, because you've got the economic winds that are blowing against the incumbents and blowing against the Democratic Party, but you've got this overshadowed conversation, which has been really forced on voters, Abortion, the Roe v. Wade overturn. So these are two very strong wins, and we're going to find out on Tuesday, was the abortion issue the third rail that multiple generations of Americans have been raised to believe it's been all along? And we don't really know yet. We're starting to see perhaps it's not.
Well, either one of these candidates, at least they can say they left it all out on the field for this Granite State debate.
They did, and it was an error-free run for both of them, which is a very impressive thing to say.
Pretty remarkable. Let's shift gears to the 2nd Congressional District. This was another one that, you know, it happened on Friday, but again, the candidates essentially came, they saw, and they interacted. You know, it was we had an actual debate. What were your thoughts?
So what I liked about Robert Burns is that of all of the debate candidates and the entire stage, I felt like, and I don't know if this is true, but my gut felt like he was the most sincere and almost jovial in giving his answers and trying to sort of push this argument for making change in the 2nd District. Unlike the somewhat gruff angriness of Donald Bolduc, this was a more lighthearted exchange, and the punches were thrown, don't get me wrong, but it was a very different style of Republican candidate in this particular debate.
Right, and he's a little outside the box too.
He
I
is.
think a sort of more classic New Hampshire, can't really pin him down kind of politician.
True.
Let's take a look at one of the interactions from this debate. Scott mentioned the abortion debate. This has been a huge issue in this one that Congresswoman Custer has been hammering Mr. Burns on the air. Take a look at them during the debate.
It's an inconvenient truth for him to use the word criminalize. That's exactly what it does. It's penalties putting doctors and women in jail.
Well, of course, that's completely untrue. And I've always said...
That's precisely what the bill does. That is precisely what the bill does. You have not said 12 weeks.
This is absolute fear-mongering that you're doing. Absolute fear-mongering.
Today, your website today.
I have been very specific on here with Adam multiple times.
Congresswoman, let's let him have his rebuttal. 30 seconds.
I've been absolutely specific with Adam on here multiple times.
During your debate, 3 times you talked about...
Yes, I did. And 3 times we brought up specifically 12 weeks. It's funny. Your first attack ad commercial. The first this is what I said, though. I don't know what bill you're talking about.
As relentless as she is on the air, she was in this debate going after him every time. Even during his rebuttal, she was like on him.
Yeah, and on this issue, again, it's sort of that if you're explaining you're losing, he tried to take that extra step to say, this is my plan, and she kind of bludgeoned him with it. So that was a tough moment for him. She had a couple weak moments, too. As a candidate, if you can't name a tax that you don't want to lower at all, you got to have an answer for that. That's a definite stubbing of the toe. But otherwise, it was a pretty even exchange.
And you mentioned that. There was another tough moment for Congresswoman Custer. You know, sort of in the universe of political public relations and things like that, one of the things that the pros tell you is don't use the phrase no comment, because it can really get turned around on you and look bad. And there was this instance in which Mr. Burns really hammered her on some issues, and then she just decided to leave it. Take a look for yourself to see what happened.
So I find it a little disingenuous when she talks about these millionaires and billionaires and these corporate PACs that are paying for her campaign. Now, she's going to talk about how the corporate PACs are funded by the employees. I went through one of those corporate PACs the other day, Viatris, the people who are making OxyContin, and everybody there was either like a vice president, a PR, or they were the lobbyist on retainer.
Congresswoman, 30 seconds.
No comment.
And Scott, you know, that may not come back to bite her in this election. I mean, you know, she's up in the polls, but that's going to be an ad in the future. Yeah,
I was just going to say, it's a good thing that there's only 48 hours left of the campaign, and the Burns camp doesn't really have any money to do that, because that's a tough one. You know, my day job is PR and trying to counsel folks in tough situations, and one of the first pieces of advice is never say no comment. Give some kind of an answer.
How do you see this one shaking out?
So, you know, the polls have suggested that Annie Custer has been out in front and he's been chasing, and I'm not sure that this debate changed anything. I think the one takeaway for me is I felt myself wishing that there were more focused attention on this race, because you have two very interesting characters, and at the end of it, there was a genuine handshake and a pat on the shoulder, and it seems like they have some chemistry.
That was the truly remarkable thing. At the end of both of these debates, there was a moment of genuine exchanged respect between Chris Pappas and Caroline Leavitt. And like you said, it was kind of, you know, Annie Custer and Robert Burns were almost having fun. They almost didn't want to leave. They were having kind of, oh, you got me on this one, you got me on that one. So,
I love that.
You know, I will say that's nice to see in some of this, you know, highly charged political climate that we live in, a lot of the vitriol and the hate that we see online spilling sometimes into real life. To see candidates behaving like that and getting along, it's nice, at least.
It's the New Hampshire way, or at least we hope it always will be.
Right. One last thing for you here.
Sure.
We've talked about inflation, abortion. It's going to be this epic matchup.
Right.
You know, this is one of the interesting things about this. You know, Republicans have the wind at their back with the midterms on the structural aspect, but there's kind of the turbulence in that theme with the abortion issue. We get to see how it all shakes out on Tuesday.
That's right. And we just don't totally know. You could put out the theory that for the abortion issue, you've got people that are so motivated by that, they check the box in the back of their head. They didn't need to listen or hear anything else. They're just going to go. They're not answering polls, and they are there. But maybe not. Maybe there's enough anger and frustration with what's going on in Washington with our current president, our current uncertainty of our economy, and just general frustration and anger, that's the overwhelming emotion that's going to drive Republicans to victory. We're going to find out soon.
It's going to be exciting to watch. Scott Spradling, thank you as always for the insight. We really appreciate the time.